Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a grand palace where a wise and king lived. But the king's heart was heavy with sorrow because his beloved queen had passed away. Since then, the king hardly smiled or spoke to anyone. In this same palace, there lived a young slave girl named Amina. She was a kind and gentle soul, always helping others despite her own hardships. Amina had a special gift: she could make anyone smile, even the king. Whenever she had the chance, Amina would tell the king funny stories or sing him cheerful songs, and for a moment, the king would forget his sadness and laugh. But there was another woman in the palace, a noblewoman named Zara. Zara was beautiful, but her heart was filled with envy and bitterness. Her eyes was on the throne, and she dreamed of becoming the next queen. She was the one in charge of giving every slave tasks. Zara noticed how the king seemed so happy whenever Amina was with him, and this made her so sad. She believed that only she should be the one to bring joy to the king, so he would choose her as his new queen. To get rid of Amina, Zara began to make life very hard for her. She gave Amina the most difficult tasks, hoping to take away her joy. She would tell Amina to scrub the entire palace floor by hand, polish all the silverware until it shone like the sun, and fetch water from a faraway miles. No matter how hard the work was, Amina never complained. She did her tasks with a smile, and her kindness never wavered. Zara's jealousy get increasing. She devised a wicked plan to make sure Amina would never have time to speak to the king again. She gave Amina an impossible task: to weave a curtain, as large as the throne room, with the finest details, in just one night. Zara knew it couldn't be done, and she was certain that when Amina failed, she would be punished and banished from the palace. That night, as Amina sat down to start the impossible task, she felt overwhelmed. The curtain was very large, and she knew she couldn't finish it in time. But just as she was about to lose hope, a little bird flew in through the window. The bird chirped softly, and Amina smiled at it. "I wish I could finish this curtain," she said. To her surprise, the bird began to sing a magical song, and as it did, the threads of the curtain began to weave themselves together. Amina watched in amazement as the curtain grew, stitch by stitch, until it was complete. The bird had helped her accomplish the impossible task. The next morning, when Zara came to see Amina's failure, she was shocked to find the curtains finished and more beautiful than anything she had ever seen. She couldn't believe her eyes. Furious, Zara ran to the king and accused Amina of using witchcraft. The king, who had come to appreciate Amina's kind heart, was troubled by the accusation. He called Amina to the throne room and asked her how she had completed the task. Amina told the king about the little bird and how it had helped her. The king listened carefully, and instead of anger, he felt a warmth in his heart. He realized that Amina's kindness had brought her this miracle. Zara, seeing that her plan had failed, grew even more desperate. She tried to lie and say that Amina was trying to take the throne for herself. But the king saw through Zara's lies. He had seen enough of her cruelty and bitterness. "Zara," the king said sternly, "your heart is full of envy. You have tried to bring harm to someone who has only shown kindness. You are no longer welcome in this palace." Zara was banished from the kingdom, and she left in disgrace. As for Amina, the king had come to see her true worth. Her kindness, humility, and the way she had brightened his life in his darkest days made the king realize that she was the one he wanted by his side. And so, the king asked Amina to marry him, not because of her beauty or wealth, but because of her pure heart. Amina accepted, and together they ruled the kingdom with wisdom and compassion. The king's sorrow was replaced with joy, and the people of the kingdom celebrated their union, for they knew that their new queen was as kind as she was wise. The moral of this story is genuine kindness and a loving heart shine brighter than any scheme. While bitterness and jealousy only lead to downfall, those who uplift others will find their own lives filled with joy and lasting rewards. If you enjoyed the story, please like, share, and subscribe, it's free. And also share your thoughts by commenting.